All right, hello everyone. So this is actually my first Tacow meetup that I've ever attended, and I felt that the best way to meet like-minded iOS developers was just to start off by presenting myself through a previous project that I did as my capstone. So a little bit about me is I'm a recent computer science graduate from Sheridan College. I graduated from the Bachelor of Computer Science mobile computing program. And actually my capstone won winner of Best Capstone Mobile Computing Degree of 2019 award at the School of Applied Computing Showcase. So just to give a background as to what was the idea for this capstone project, throughout my academic career, I worked in restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, being a server. And I've always been interested in kind of technology that could somehow enhance a customer's experience when they're out dining at a restaurant. And usually we've already seen the basic first technology advancement that appeared in restaurants was a POS system where it's stored at a bar or either in a corner where a restaurant server goes and puts in the information. But lately we've seen more and more servers are actually being able to provide better experience because they can bring those big computers to you through the use of a tablet. But what I think that's lacking still is that it doesn't really create more of a server and customer relationship. The server really just goes to the tablet, takes in the order, punches it in, and then leaves. So what I thought is it'd be a great way if there would be an application that could really create more of a customer-server relationship and provide a more plausible dining experience. So lo and behold, Realism Dining. And essentially it's an application that provides a revamped dining experience through augmented reality, cloud computing, and cognitive services with the hope of redefining the dining experience for people of all ages and demographics. So essentially some problems that is currently happening in the dining industry too is that restaurant owners are seeing significant revenue decreases. And this is because there's less and less customers that are choosing to dine out because there's available ready to make meal kits that can be delivered directly to your door. And there's also the simplicity of food delivery services being accessible through a mobile application. There's also minimum wage salaries increases, rental hikes increases, and food and beverage cost increases. And overall too, sometimes maybe there is an outdated experience when it comes to dining out at restaurants, and that's just a factor as to why people are choosing to stay in and choose those ready-to-make meal kits or those using Uber or skip the dishes instead of going out. So the solution to the problem is to try and provide an interactive dining experience for customers by creating a customer-server relationship by using advanced areas of computer science, provide a digital menu management platform for restaurant owners to easily manage their menus, and have a table-side ordering system for restaurants to consider implementing indoor organization to increase their revenues and provide new customer experiences. So some features for this table-side ordering system that you will see in the demo is being able to view the restaurant in an augmented reality scene of the food products, empower customers to share their experience with each other by viewing all items selected by everyone at the table. So what I mean by this is that when you go out a lot, you usually ask someone hey, what are you getting? What are you getting? And then you have to go through the menu and search for it. You'll see a little example in the video that this solves that problem to make it much more quicker and efficient. And also allowing servers to view the items on the table through the AR scene and able to also promote products by seeing what customers are selecting before they make their order. And then finally, complement a traditional menu as well with a translated version to help tourists or out-of-towners to be able to read the product more in a better fashion. So unfortunately, at my school, they provide us a lot of services to make the app, so I can't do a live demo because those services are no longer available. So it's a video demo that I'll be showing, but I'll be walking through it as well. So first up here goes to the login screen. You'll notice a quick skip because my password wasn't hidden. So this is the home screen that users will see. And they'll see here all the restaurants made available through restaurant owners when they register their restaurant to the application. By the rating, so yeah. And so for the first it was the rating, but future work, we thought that it would be definitely best with a geolocation based on which closest you are which this is a search implementation. So the restaurant that we'll select is Brew Restaurant. Reason why is because this was the domain expert that was our domain expert for our capstone project. And this is actually a restaurant that I did work at throughout my academic career as well. And you'll see that we really did take his menu and put it into this app to show that this is actually a feasible and possible solution if implemented in real life. Oops. All right. So we select Brew Restaurant. There's a table choosing. This is because when you go to a restaurant, every table is identified by a number. That's how servers know which food to go to when they run it. And this is also just now, when you're being sat at the table, the server will tell you what table you're at because there's certain features that need to know which table you're currently sitting at to use all the for what's available in the app. I think there's audio. Oh yeah. Does this work? Oh,
so here we have all the different types of menus. If we go to appetizer, we see all sorts of appetizers. If we go to entrees, we see all our entrees. If we go to desserts, we see desserts. If we see drinks, we see some drinks. Now we'll go back to entree. We'll select the brew burger. So you can see when we select an item, we can see the description of the food product, some nutritional information, such as the calories, the proteins, the fat, and the carbs, and also some chef recommendations, whereas these are where the chef thinks that an item will pair well with a certain food, just to help the user select more options in case they're very hungry. Here you'll see there's a number 0. This will be described later in another video. And the selections in the top right here on this scene will also be described in a later video. So that's it for viewing all the menus and the food products.
So for a bit of background how we translated the menu, when you're creating a menu, it can change constantly. So you can't really hard code these values using localizable strings. So we saw that there is an IBM translator services. And what we did is we took the food item's name, its description, and you have to put essentially all these information into one giant JSON object. And then you send it to the IBM service. It can take about 1 second to a minute, depending how big the file is. And then it'll return back all those translated items for you. Then essentially you just do the decoding process and display everything in the table list view. You'll see that some items are not translated properly. I'll point one out, it's kind of funny, but it's pretty accurate for what it provides.
We'll show you how this application can also be translated in different language. For this video, we will only showcase French. You can see at the top, instead of saying available restaurants, it says restaurant disponible. The table title says is translated also. We keep the restaurant name the same because we don't feel it's appropriate to translate a restaurant name. As you can see, all the food item descriptions and labels are translated. The macronutrients descriptions are also translated. The recommended food items is translated.
So here at the bottom, it says pho. That's supposed to be poutine. It's definitely wrong. All right, so now this is my other partner. He's going to describe when you're selecting an item on the menu, where it goes, where it's stored, so that when the server comes to the table later, they can showcase how to view what you selected.
Customer can order a specific food product when they're viewing the digital menu within the application. So for the user to add a specific food product to their selections, what they could do is swipe on a food product they would like to choose, like so, and click on Add to Selections. For the customer to view that selection they just have made, they can click on the Selection button within a menu view, or they could click here where you can see the One button. This will showcase whatever they have saved within the selection. Once the customer has been satisfied with what they're selecting, to finalize the process and call the server to their table, what they could do is press the Complete button on top.
So now you'll see what the server will see when they come to your table.
When a
When they tap
server
on
is
your
called
table.
upon by a customer table, they can navigate to the View AR selection, as you can see on the screen, and click upon the Change Table function. This will bring up the different table within the restaurant, and depending on which table has called upon the server, they can select that table. Right now, we can have table 1, where we have Vin, On, and myself.
So these avatars at the top, they're not hard-coded. They are people that signed into the application, chose the restaurant, and tapped the table that they're at.
And Vincenzo. This is where they can select different customers within the table and see what they actually are selecting at the table. So now, if we just press on, and just as we did before inside the customer view, we just have to follow the instructions. And now once you say, please tap on the device, this is where we can tap on the open services and view what the customer actually have selected. And voila.
So earlier we saw that he selected the burger as a selection, and now the server can see what he selected. That was a little fast. So now I'm gonna show you guys how the customer can interact with all its other guests by using the AR scene view.
When the customer has selected the Brew Burger, they can view the 3D model by tapping on the burger image. This will display what the camera is currently looking at with the additions of who else is within the table. As we can see, there's Vincenzo and the table server that is currently at the table. To view the 3D model, the customer can follow the instructions underneath the customer selections. First, we need to detect the first surfaces, and then we can tap on the open surfaces. This will bring up the 3D model right in front of the customer, and they can view it as is. Additionally, the customer can view what other customers within the table is also looking at. To do so, they can just tap on different customer within the selection, such as Vincenzo. And once again, tap on the open surfaces. Additionally, if the server would like to recommend a specific product, the customer can view that by tapping on the server icon, as you can see on the top within the customer selections. And once again, they can tap on the open surfaces.
So this is when the server will come to the table, he sees what you guys have ordered, and then I could say, hey, how about this bottle of red wine with your food? And then they would tap the server and they could see this as well. All right. So now we're going to showcase one of the ways how we created the products for the food. Notice that for some reason the camera is kind of wonky in this method, but the second method, which I'll explain later, is how we actually took the images to create the burger and the smoked turkey club and the bottle of wine, and that was the most efficient method out of the two for sure.
To create a 3D model, the experience coordinator can begin the process by navigating to a specific product details and tapping on the Manage Model button. Here, they'll be able to take a 360 create a 3D model. The experience coordinator can begin the process by navigating to a specific product details.
He did that kind of fast, but he just taps the Manage Model. It's not really, I didn't do this UI, so I just want to throw that out.
And tapping on the Manage Model button. Here, they'll be able to take a 360 video of their food product. And once they are satisfied, they can begin the upload process to the processing server. to begin the upload process, the experience coordinator can select a specific image that they have taken beforehand, such as this one.
So when it took that video, when it's done, it actually splits that video into frames. So that's where it gets all the images. And then now this is where all the images will be submitted to the pipeline that we created to construct a 3D model.
And tap on the upload button. This will begin the upload to the processing pipeline, and they will be able to receive push notifications about the progress of their food product. As you can see, the product has been processing. That demonstrates how the experience coordinator can create 3D models.
All right, and then the second way how we created the objects and how essentially I created the burger and the smoked turkey club is literally, I wanted to showcase that creating a food object is possible with just a phone camera. So I literally bought a white Bristol board, a small tripod, put the food on a plate, set up my phone on the tiny tripod, took a picture, rotated, took a picture, rotated, took a picture, constructed about 50 to 80 images. And then after that, we send it into an application program called Meshroom. And then that's what's created the 3D object for us. And then we opened it into Blender. And then Blender is where we could edit a little bit of the 3D model because there was kind of like still a little bit of white background and stuff before submitting into that. And that's it. Thank you. Yeah, questions?
Actually, what was the service that you uploaded to the AR process?
So that was all the images when we did that quick video, and then so my partner, he's the one that created a pipeline essentially because Meshroom, I think he said it was like some sort of like it's also used as a Python application, and he had in order to create these models you need a CUDA core driver. And we're lucky enough that he actually had a computer that supported that. So he created a VM machine on that computer that could then send the pictures to that VM and then do the whole processing. In total, it would take around like 2 to 3 hours before it was finished. So it is a long process for sure. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, right there.
First of all, I thank you for your nice presentation. My question is how to describe the cognitive services in the system. What part?
Sorry, repeat that?
What part of your application describe the cognitive services?
Like what platform do we? So we just, for backend, we use Vapor. And then so as well, for the cognitive services, all we did for that was use the IBM translating services. Yeah, when we translated the menu, we used the IBM translator. That's it. Thank you guys.